All right, let's see what we got here. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Happy New Year, everyone. You know, it's a new season, spring. You know what I'm saying? A lot of blessing. It's blessing seasons, man. But anyway, now if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. Welcome to give is to receive. What we do in this channel is, well, for me personally, as a spiritual healer, I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness through the power of words. Now, when I'm talking about the power of words, most people would say, words are powerful. Watch what you say, or you got to watch the intention you're putting behind your words, spells, and all that good stuff. I mean, yes, yes, yes. I kind of see, but to me, when I'm talking about the power of words, it goes beyond that. It's like I'm referring to. Have you ever heard a quote that somehow makes you inspired, or in the middle of it you become motivated, or you just got enlightened, because at that point you got to witness, the intelligence that is being displayed in that statement. And those statements are so powerful that they demand your fucking attention, and they got you to a point where you become receptive, and now you able to even grasp, even, or unpack a lot more details or knowledge or gems within that statement. So that's what I call power of words. So when I'm talking about quotes, proverbs, or even poetry or rap music or lyrics, if you want to put it that way. Now they are all different respectively, but in essence, what you see is the same foundation, which is it's not necessarily what is being said, but it's how it's being said. So the power of words to me truly reveal itself in how things are being said. And I'm assuming if you're a speaker, I mean, you should know that. Or when you go, if okay, have you if you go to church and you see people going like, go on, preach, talk, that's right. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how they are. That's a reflection on how whatever they heard, or how the pastor said whatever the fuck he said or she said, and how it's acting out on them. I know for me, I love that shit, and that's why sometimes I love the mysticism in the whole occult, how things are being said. That's my little thing. It's just a little thing of mine, but making a long story short, when I'm talking about the power of words and the true power of words, to me, it's revealed not in the meaning of a word or maybe meaning of words, and it's not necessarily what is being said, but it's how it's being said. And you also get to witness that power because it automatically bypass your conscious mind, and it's almost like it demands your fucking attention. And now you're gonna learn today, and that's what those quotes does to me, and that's to me again, and that's what I call the power of words. But um, that's pretty much that. And what I do in this channel, in this channel, is that I expand a lot more on those quotes. Obviously, some of them are pretty self-explanatory. I kind of expand on some of the things that are being said, but that are not being said. If that makes any sense. In other words, I expand on some of the wisdom that are hidden within certain statement, because a lot of them are fully loaded statements. Now, as a disclaimer, especially if this is your first time, a lot of the quotes that I use, for me, wisdom is wisdom regardless of where it comes from. What that means is, the truth that is being said by a child, it's not less of a truth because it's coming out of a child's mouth. In other words, I'm saying wisdom is wisdom, man, regardless where it comes from. So for me, as a disclaimer, just so you guys know, a lot of those quotes, they stem from many different sources: Christianity, Buddhism. In fact, the one we'll be talking about tonight is an African proverb. Proverb. Sufis, the Gnostics, Kabbalion. Doesn't really matter. It really comes down to the wisdom itself. So that's pretty much what I do here. And with no further ado, let's just delve right into it. Now, if you're coming back, it's definitely a pleasure to have you guys back. Check out my other channel, guys. I got almost 400 videos. So now I'm, focusing a little bit more on this channel. Try to get the words out through here, and yeah, man, that's pretty much it. So let's get into it. So what we're gonna be talking about tonight, guys, as I already stated, this is an African proverb. Pretty much what that says is that knowledge is like a garden. If not cultivated, it cannot be harvested. You know what I'm saying? In other words, what this is saying is, guys, you're not going to be smart by accident. A lot of people, we tend to, and this is where the whole delusion comes from, right? A lot of people always think they're smart, but yet again, how are you sustaining that smart? It takes work for everything. Everything we do in this life takes work. It's everything that we got to do for ourselves. Just to maintain your physical body takes for you to brush your teeth, take a shower, wash your ass. Just to maintain a physical appearance. It's all work. So this statement is saying becoming knowledgeable. It takes work pretty much. But also, what this is also saying, not just the work in itself, but this is also saying is it has to be cultivated. And that's why a lot of times when we're talking about wisdom too, it's within. You got to look for it. That's why when I'm talking about what I call the esoteric knowledge or the occult knowledge, it's the type of knowledge that is not, at face value. You got to seek for it because it is N-word. A lot of people sometimes when we talk about the occult, we always say, it's a hidden culture. But for me, I feel like that definition doesn't do it justice because, I understand what it means by hidden culture, meaning it's the culture that is not visible, meaning it's everything, there's a whole a process that is taking place that is not visible. That's why some of the basic things, let's just say, if you're getting into the occult, what the occult will tells you, and those are called esoteric knowledge. What the occult will teach you is that you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. So to talk about the subconscious mind is actually it's to make visible, it's to make the invisible visible. It's to help you to acknowledge that other part of you that is part of you. And essentially, that is our job here. That's what we're doing. The whole us reconnecting, the whole process, our evolution or elevation, our process of enlightenment or awakening, it's becoming more conscious of who we are, becoming more conscious of the aspect of us that is not visible and making that visible. And we're making it visible by being conscious of it. So now I could talk about a third eye. Now I could talk about your chakras. Those are things that you don't physically see, but that are part of you, and every one of us has it. And that's why, again, I was talking about my other channel when I always talk about spirituality, whereas spirituality is just your regular life. All you're doing in this regular life, a guy or even a guy like me helping you to do, is to, go through those layers, help you to understand that you are more than what you appear to be. And if that's the case, only then that Jesus statement would should definitely make sense to you. The one that he says, how the fuck did he say it? I mean, man does not, I mean, shall not live off of bread and wine alone, but should also live of the word of God, or the God wisdom. What this is referring to is that there is an additional, I mean, it's not suppressing your body, saying you shouldn't feed your body, or your body, you should suppress your body. But this is saying, as you do this for your body, you should also do that for the other side of you. So again, I mean, I'm trying to delve into some of the statement that are being said within that statement, although it's just referring to knowledge. But even to cultivate knowledge, right? What does that say about us, man? And now here's something else too. This is also saying whether you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, and that's why we say, you know, I always use the statement, but for some reason it's right here. The people are perishing due to ignorance. So the very first thing for me, that was very deep in that statement is to let me know, just like I brush my teeth, I do all of that shit. Knowledge has to be cultivated. But what this is also saying is, it's almost like, just like I said earlier, it's like you're not gonna be smart by accident. Like, and the same thing can also be said. You're not gonna be dumb by accident neither. And everyone who is smart, I mean, they do the things that makes you to be smart. How do you be smart? Well, you have to acquire more knowledge. That's when reading more, feeding your mind of the word of God. That's where that shit comes in. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I mean, and unconsciously, if you're not making those choices, well, I mean, that's where you cannot serve two gods, and that's where you are. The people are perishing due to their own fucking ignorance, because I mean, it takes practice to be stupid too. I mean, in fact, not. I mean, shit. It take. I mean, our nature. We do everything. We are habit creatures. So if you're not practicing smart, man, like, you practicing not being smart. I mean, that's listen, man. It's. I wish, there was a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could give you guys some good news, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is also a good news. But what this is also saying is that you had to make that conscious effort to feed your mind, just like you do, for you to brush your teeth. But all of that too, I also come to realize it requires for you to understand your nature. Do you see what I'm saying? And only then that Jesus story statement would make a lot of sense. Would make a lot of sense, because then you would understand also that you are more than what you appear to be. I mean, if we need to feed our mind, what does that say about us? And this is where I always tell people to seek for the kingdom of God. Because what this is truly talking about here, you have to embrace your authentic self. All right, sorry guys, I had to step out for a second. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, in terms of, you got to look for the kingdom of God. What that is referring to, actually, it's you, seeking for, that main part of you that is not physical. Again, so ultimately, as you can see here, is that it's almost like our job is to take care of us. Like you got to brush your teeth, you got to do all of those things for yourself, and ultimately, what I was referring to when I was talking about the esoteric knowledge, now is dealing with the aspect of you, or to have the proper knowledge to understand the non to go beyond what those ordinary, to have the proper understanding of these ordinary shit. But again, going back to, it's like it's so much, when it comes to knowledge and how it has to be cultivated for us to have it in us. So it's almost like, and that's the work that is required of us. I mean, and that's the non-stop work that we have to do for ourselves. That's why you have to learn how to love, embrace, and doing all of that for yourself, because ultimately that's how you grow. Just to have, just the bare minimum to be, a good human being, that's when you gotta love you and embrace those divine part of you, meaning the non-physical aspect of you, the part of you that needs the wisdom of God. Because what that is doing by feeding yourself, that wisdom of God, you're nurturing yourself, you developing your inner self, your well-being. Do you see what I'm saying? So contrary to what a lot of people think, when it comes to, let's just say, spirituality, or when they talk about God, it's almost like, especially religion does that, it's almost like a way to escape. It's more of a way for a future life somewhere else. I mean, that's not too transformative. There's no real meaningful information there, because it's not it's not working on you. The purpose of anything that we do, us, and the way we operate, we have to make it, has to be part of your life for it to have any type of meaning to you. So, truthfully, spirituality is not something for you to escape or look forward to, like a next world, but it's the total opposite. It's to give you the proper. It's for you to become a better human being now. When you embrace and when you love yourself, that's what these things do. That's why we encourage you to become in alignment with who you are. Because ultimately, that's all you're doing. Even there's something called doing your shadow work. The shadow work pretty much entails, let's just say, you dealing with your inner feelings, or those early emotions that you had, that somehow made you think a certain way, and now as you came to see things a lot bigger, and now you have to restore that relationship between yourself and the new person, the old self and the new self. But it's truly a whole transformation of the new self. That's why you have to address the old self, if that makes any sense. And the whole shadow work, the whole purpose of doing your shadow work, it's to facilitate, or it's for the conversion of that new person that you have now become. Because obviously you were acting a certain way because of that wounded child. And for you to become new again, for everything around you to become new again, it takes you to become new. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I mean, there's nothing that could be done without you. And ironically, unfortunately, a lot of people, they always tend to, how can I say this? Make you think to love yourself is to be selfish. That's not the case at all. It's not proven. You'll see people who are selfish are not, they do not love themselves. I mean, they're doing it what they're doing for them, but they only concerned with the physical aspect of it, not the internal aspect of it. When you love yourself, meaning you love those internal or those divine quality in you. Once you acknowledge that in you, that's why you acknowledge that in you demand it in other people. That's why we say real recognize real. When you build yourself, you become a quality person. I mean, part of being quality, you got to get more quality. I mean, that's quality in itself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, but anyway, going back to the subject at hand, like that statement is saying, yo, man, you're not gonna be smart by accident. And this is the whole delusional aspect of us. You never see motherfuckers who think they smart, and then how? What I'm saying? I mean, it's not anything you have to prove to anybody, but anybody who is actively who knows that they are smart, you got to put the work in, baby. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, how do you have a nice body if you don't hit the gym? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's pretty much the way it goes. But also, this is I also wanted to touch on us too, because obviously, not that only we have to cut. I mean, knowledge has to be cultivated, but now, how do we relate to knowledge? What does that say about us? Right? So it's almost like us having to cultivate that in us for us to harvest it. I mean, obviously, this is you feeding yourself, right? So, what I came to realize though, it's like the Buddhist, I think, has the lotus. The lotus is this flower, right? That grows in the mud, because this is a great allegory, I guess. This is referring to us, meaning we are in the land of the lost, but yet we have that life inside of us. We all do. That fire is inside of all of us, but it's been crystallized, right? So that's where our spirit comes in, us being the living mind. And now, if you want to talk about your body, which is technically your body, is referring to what contains your soul or your spirit. And as you're growing consciously, your body is also being expended like crazy. Because I know for me, sometimes I feel like this is my body, but when I'm also in my zone, I feel like the universe is my body. In fact, I'm feeling it now. But a lot of it has to do, but ultimately, our body, what I came to understand is that it's what contain us. And depending on your level of vibration, I mean, and this is the mysterious aspect of us too. And I do have that coming up for you guys. You guys got to check it out. I'll probably have it either Saturday or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. But I'll be talking about the mystery of all mysteries, which is us. This is crazy. And the whole ideal of us knowing who we are, it's knowing who you are in the middle, just like we were talking about that lotus, right? In the mud and becoming conscious, the whole waking up aspect, right? So the lotus actually grows from the mud. It pretty much opens up, and then you have, the what do you call that? The light, which also symbolizes wisdom, knowledge, what we need to cultivate, right? That's what allows us to become more receptive and to grow. So it's almost like you could say, I can't recall who says it. Is it is it the Gita or the Buddhist? But they said that they refer to us as a dusted mirror. Do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I mean, it's almost like you just got to polish yourself a little bit. And that's what knowledge does to us. It polishes us. And that's why it has to be harvested. It has to be cultivated because, I mean, what it does, the connection that's it's almost like it sparked this fire in us, but ultimately, I mean, we want to turn it to blaze. Like we want that little spark to start blazing in us, and that's what knowledge does when it's cultivated. And the whole blazing aspect, that's when you become the enlightened one, the shining one, the Illuminati. That's who you are. The true Illuminati. And that's your purpose here. It's nothing else. Nothing else. And nothing else is greater than that. Because anything you could accomplish when you don't know who you are, it's almost like it doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's like it's not it. It's not the ultimate goal. And that's what and I believe Jesus even said that himself. I can't recall how he said it, but what would it gain a man to, or profit a man to, or to have the world, but to lose your soul? I mean, again, those are just quality shit. Like those are real life reality. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like having $1 billion and then you don't even have the wealth to enjoy it. You in the fucking hospital every day. That's why, like I always tell people, man, like the undeveloped spiritual mind, like you see only the surface. You see fame, you see money, you see all that shit. But in reality, that shit is always will be secondary. No matter how you want to break it down. I mean, for most people, you only see it as, you know, the thing because obviously you don't see any better. You're delusional. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, money don't make you, regardless of what you do for it. You make money. That's why money can never and should never, ever be your fucking master. And this is not just to be good. This is not none of that shit. This is, if you want to be logical, if you want to be real, like money, how can money be your fucking master? First of all, you can't even make money by making money. You got to do something. Even if you're killing to make money, I mean, you killed to get the money. So therefore, money in itself, it's just a medium. It's something you use for you as as an exchange for something. I mean, you got to do something. Even if you're robbing bank, whatever the fuck, well, you're doing fucked up shit. I mean, that's what you do for money. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I mean, it's you. How do you let that be your master? It's crazy. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's not even trying to be nice, trying to be down to earth. It's not. I mean, well, you could say down to earth, but I mean, but if you see, even to be grounded, meaning it's just to see beyond the veil, man. Now we're not saying we don't want money. We're not saying fuck money. What I'm saying is money's a good bitch, but never a good master. But anyway, going back to the whole um, how knowledge is like it's like a garden. You know, again, there are so many different ways we actually went about it. So the most obvious one that we talked about is obviously, I mean, you have to put the work in, and as part of our nature, that's what we do here. We take care of ourselves. That's why taking accountability is very important. It's the beginning steps. I mean stages. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But ultimately, do not stop there. You take accountability so you could become in alignment. Now, once you're in alignment, now I know for me, I don't take accountability for nothing anymore. Everything now becomes part of my path. It had to happen that way. It was necessary. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like I'm not taking accountability or I'm taking accountability, but it just to a state of mind now where I'm seeing how everything is serving me. You see what I'm saying? So it's not even anyway. There's levels to this, but I'm saying that to say everything that we're doing is us doing it for us. So that's why you reconnecting to yourself, you taking care of yourself. But now, don't do it just on the physical self. Make sure that there's you take care of your divine self, and that divine part of it. That's what's going to balance you out. As you are feeding that side of you, that's when now, as you're doing that, you're making that side of you more conscious. And that's the meaning of a true religious man. You know what I'm saying? It's the God consciousness in you. Then you start to understand your true nature. Then you understand you're not saying you don't have a body, but you understand there's a spirit, you know, within that body. So, meaning that the body at this point doesn't even matter because now, what I'm saying, the body become an extension of that conscious mind. That's why we understand a strong mind, a strong body. That's when you got to become in alignment. And as you're doing so, guess what? You have transcended the body. But anyway, if you want more of that, I have a lot of these things on on the Lespri channel. That's mostly what I talk about. But I just wanted to expand a little bit more on the whole, knowledge as a garden, and but most importantly, because this is telling you it's your responsibility Do you see what I'm saying? It's not, you're not dumb by accident, nor are you smart by accident. You know, I mean, whether you're conscious of it or not, hey, you know, the people are perishing due to ignorance. You know, you can sleepwalking all you want, but best believe you are walking. You know, and all we're doing here is to help you, hopefully, to become conscious in the middle of that sleepwalk. And depending on where you are in that journey, or some of us woke up, I know for me, when I woke up, I had blood in my hand, baby. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And then oh man, you know what I'm saying? And then when I woke up too, oh shit. To be continued. But anyway, love is love. You know what I'm saying? Again, let me see if there's anything else that I forgot to mention here. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, listen, man. It takes work, baby, for you to be good looking. You know, just like you do it for your external body, you got to put the work in. You got to feed the mind. Do you see what I'm saying? And ironically, when you do that, everything else will fall into place. You're looking for that nice body. Guess what? With that state of mind, with the proper understanding, you listen. You'll get it. What else? What else? That's why they tell you seek the kingdom of God, and everything else will be given to you. I see. Mali.